High above the coastline, where politics collide with the horizon, a lone twin-engine silhouette cuts through the sky. A spear of steel, built in secrecy, refined through necessity. For China, it became the fighter that guarded the nation's borders in its most uncertain years to Chengdu. J-8II. The story of the J-8 begins in the 1960s, at a moment when China found itself dangerously exposed. The world as major powers were fielding supersonic fighters that could reach high altitudes and penetrate deep into national airspace. Reconnaissance aircraft, American, Soviet, and otherwise, flew along China's borders with near impunity. China needed a high-altitude, high-speed interceptor capable of climbing rapidly, tracking intruders, and firing from distances previously unreachable. Existing aircraft like the J-6 and J-7 were agile, but lacked the speed, altitude, and radar reach required for deterrence. Thus emerged a new directive. Build a large twin-engine interceptor that could defend the nation against the world's most advanced reconnaissance planes and bombers. It was a bold leap for an aviation industry still recovering from political and technological isolation. The Chengdu J-8 was unlike anything China had built before. Its long, tubular fuselage, swept wings, and prominent nose intake reflected the design philosophy of the era. Raw aerodynamics, minimal drag, maximum climb. The airframe was constructed with lightweight alloys, giving it durability without excessive weight. Early models featured a simple radar system, but the aircraft evolved dramatically with the J-8II. The nose intake was replaced with side-mounted intakes, allowing a larger radar installed and a pointed nose Kona-defining leap in capability. The Type 208 and later Type 1471 radar suites gave the J-8 the ability to detect targets farther, track multiple aircraft, and guide more capable missiles. There was no stealth to speak of, no radar-absorbing materials, no shaping to reduce signature. The J-8 was a creature of speed and altitude, not invisibility. But its avionics grew steadily more sophisticated, giving pilots far more situational awareness than earlier Chinese fighters. At the core of the J-8's performance were its two WP-7 turbojet engines, later upgraded to the more reliable WP-13B and WP-13BM series. Each produced around 6,500 to 7,000 kilograms of thrust with afterburner. Combined, they pushed the aircraft to speeds exceeding Mach 2.2 and allowed it to operate at altitudes above 55,000 feet. Its climb rate over 150 meters per second in later variants made it an ideal interceptor, rushing skyward to challenge fast-moving targets. With external tanks, its combat radius approached 800 kilometers, enough to patrol vast stretches of coastline and air defense zones. The J-8 was never meant to be a dogfighter. It was a guardian, a sentinel, designed to rise fast, fire decisively, and return just as quickly. Armed with a combination of missiles, guns, and electronic countermeasures. The J-8 was built to strike from distance. Early versions carried PLAAF and PL-5 short-range missiles, but later models gained the more advanced PL-8 infrared missile and the PL-11 semi-active radar missile. Its internal 23mm cannon provided close-range capability, though the aircraft rarely relied on guns in real operations. Over time, electronic warfare pods, upgraded radar warning receivers, and improved jamming systems helped the J-8 survive in increasingly complex threat environments. It was never meant to be a multi-role platform, though some variants carried limited ground attack ordnance. Its true purpose remained pure: air defense and interception. Operational history shaped the J-8's identity in ways both triumphant and tragic. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, it served as China's primary high-altitude interceptor, routinely shadowing foreign reconnaissance aircraft in the East China Sea and South China Sea. Pilots described the jet as stable, powerful, and reliable at altitude, an aircraft that could climb fast enough to challenge any intruder. Its most internationally known moment came in 2001, when a J-8II collided with a U.S. Navy EP-3 near Hainan Island. The Chinese pilot, Wang Wei, was lost. The incident became a defining geopolitical flashpoint. Though tragic, it highlighted the J-8's role as China's frontline guardian during years of heightened tension. For pilots, flying the J-8 required discipline and precision. It was not a turn fighter. Its long fuselage and interceptor wings demanded energy management. Tactics emphasized vertical maneuvering, high-speed approaches, rapid climbs, and missile-first engagements. The aircraft excelled when used as intended, rising to intercept, locking onto high-value targets, and launching from advantageous positions. Pilots learned to avoid prolonged engagements with more agile fighters, instead using altitude, speed, and radar range to dictate the fight. In the right hands, the J-8 was not elegant, but it was effective. Against contemporary rivals, its strengths and weaknesses were clear. Compared to the American F-4 Phantom II, the J-8 was faster at altitude, but lacked the Phantom's sophisticated avionics and multi-role flexibility. Against the Soviet MiG-25, the J-8 could not match raw speed or ceiling, but it was cheaper, easier to maintain, and better suited for regional air defense rather than strategic interception. It occupied a middle ground, neither the world's most advanced fighter nor the simplest bots, perfectly matched to China's needs at the time. Today, the J-8 remains in limited service, though newer platforms like the J-10, J-11, and J-16 have largely replaced it. Upgraded avionics packages, improved radars, and modern missiles allowed the jet to remain relevant deep into the 21st century. A handful of J-8Fs continue to carry out patrol and intercept duties, their roles gradually shifting toward training in secondary missions. The aircraft's long service life is a testament to its reliability and the practicality of its design. In the end, the Chengdu J-8 stands as a symbol of a nation's determination to secure its skies during decades of turbulence. It is the story of engineers striving under pressure, of pilots climbing toward distant silhouettes on the horizon, of a country building its own shield in an era of powerful rivals. The J-8 is not just a fighter jet, it is a chapter in China's journey toward modern air power. A machine that rose from necessity, endured through challenge, and carved its place in the vast history of flight.